Listeners, you would agree with me. We are sitting in a hotel that has got a very rich heritage. You talk about food, there's something about it. You talk about wine, there's something about hospitality dwells in this place. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. It's amazing. And I must say, you are now entering into a competition that is now testing your expertise when it comes to wine and food. And I couldn't think of a better hotel to enter but your hotel based on your heritage. Are you now ready to enter into the competition?
I think this is another step in our journey of developing.
All right.
We have. And you can walk into the kitchen and the team will tell you that we're sitting with people that have been here most probably since they left school or even before, that have been mentoring some of the new recruits as they come through. We will always have an element of training going on here. So yes. Going into Showcook is an opportunity or an avenue that allows young students to go and test their mettle outside of our environment. Yes. Against other people in their own space.
Yes.
And then, of course, on the wine side, you're going to find the same thing. The wine side is a fairly new space within Cape Town's culinary circles. You've only recently, in the last couple of years, seen sommeliers developing into their own space, and that's a whole conversation on its own, because there are people that say, I'm sorry, we don't want to, these people are not sommeliers. Actually,
I've heard.
Yeah.
We'll leave it for another day.
You say you have a bit of attitude among some of the sommeliers, but I think the big thing is that people doing guest-facing activity, selling wine specifically, have a good knowledge about the South African wines. We're not always going to have a great knowledge about international wines.
Yes.
But that's fine, because most people coming here are looking for South African wines to sell.
Yes.
And then that they have an opportunity also to integrate that wine knowledge with food knowledge, because they're working and pairing food in our environment anyway on a very regular basis. We've built our food and wine space to do our wine calendar of wine paired dinners through the year. Winter we do on average 12. Wow. And the way we put it together is having wine come in, flavor profiling that wine with food, and then putting the menu out a couple of weeks later. So we've got as much as we possibly could of an integrated paired menu, and we try to do things differently. So you will find us pushing the envelope in profiling. People say to you, typically, smoked salmon and Chardonnay or Pinot. We'll say, maybe we're going to try it with something else.
Wow, I like that. I like the sound of that.
You'll find us doing maybe a red wine with a white fish, or a white wine with a red meat. So those type of things are going to happen. You'll find that wine flavors and profiling is a preference. And this is the simple part. When people say to me, I don't like that wine, or this food didn't match with that wine, that's your preference. The overall preference will be, if we can get a lot of people to agree, that's great. But there's always going to be a difference. And this is why when we do our profiling session before our wine pair dinner, we say it's a no experience required activity, and we get people in that actually don't know too much about food and wine, because their palates are more honest.
Well, I'm going to be the next one on those tables, because believe me, there's no experience in my palate. But then, this year the competition is now national. It is going Johannesburg and it's going Durban as well, which means you will be competing with another extra 10 hotels.
But that's great. Being national means that there's greater exposure for our participants in the event. And you're going to obviously see, as we get closer to the end, that those people come to Cape Town anyway.
You're a typical Cape Townian.
Well, what can I say? Where's your passport?